Hello, I look like I'm a part of this lamp. Anyway, we thought we'd give you guys a video house tour because we can't believe it, but we haven't done one of these since December of last year. So a lot has changed, a lot is still to be done, but we thought we'd walk around with you. So we're here in the foyer. The curved wall's on fleek. I'm sorry it's not the best time of day for this. It's almost evening, so the sun is starting to set. But this house is super light filled, so I'm hoping this video is going to turn out pretty nicely. So here you can see the foyer pretty much finished. We got the light fixture, the wreath on the door. We are going to switch it out for a spring one next week. This is still our winter one because it's still technically winter. You've seen a lot of this stuff, this really pretty Craigslist dresser that we found. So let's go back on into the kitchen. And the kitchen is... the new stuff in here is this pretty runner that we got. Yee, it's adjusting like crazy. The light being right here is really messing with my phone. We got the pink stove in here. We've got temporary shelves because we're gonna do a backsplash, and then we're gonna do real shelves. These are just like cheapy $10 shelves we bought for now. You can see we still have painting to do, but we're like, we're gonna tile, so we're not even gonna fix the paint. You've seen the light, the sconces, all that stuff in here. This picture is new. It's really pretty from Urban Outfitters. Really inexpensive, and I loved the color of the frame. It's crazy. The color of the frame is almost the exact colors of the floors. So it's pretty nice when things like that work out. We've got the back staircase. Over here, some kitchen stuff. Little odds and ends we still have to do, like finishing this side. IKEA sells these panels that you put on the side. All of them are finished. This is what they look like when they're finished. This one's finished too. But we still have to finish this one. We also have the pantry in totally complete form, except to have some paint touch-ups on the baseboard. But other than that, you can see that we did the built-ins around the fridge on this side, painted them, lots of baskets to store things like big tall cereal, big snacks, chip bags. We've got things in here that aren't always plugged in, like the toaster, mixing bowls. So this is all sort of your like stuff for the kitchen. And then we added counters over here. The counter's really nice because when you pull something out of the fridge, like a glass of milk, and you want to just pour it, it's always nice to have a landing spot near a fridge. So especially if you're going to do the doorless pantry fridge thing, I'd recommend some cabinets and counters nearby. Just for the simple fact of, like, if you're unloading groceries, you might want to put your bags down and unload them into the fridge, stuff like that. It's nice to have a surface. So the pantry is like basically my favorite room so far. It's also very, very finished, and compared to the rest of the house, it isn't. A few people asked for this shot, so here it is. Ooh, it looks so pretty right now. I love, love, love the curved wall. It's magical to me. I love seeing that curve go over to the foyer. And we worked really hard on the placement of the chandeliers for where to put the table, centered on the doorway. So I really like how this view worked out, you know, with the table, and you can see into the living room. And in the living room, you can see, I have to wash my slip covers terribly. I say that every time we come here, and then John and I work and we don't wash them. This lighting almost makes that coffee table look done, but look, as it adjusts, it's just a wood base that we built. We're going to skim coat it with white Ardex concrete. It's like a concrete thin layer, so it won't make the table super heavy. It won't make it super hard, like landing on a marble table. It's just sort of like a super thin veneer of concrete that you put over wood. So we'll get that stone look, but it will not be super heavy, and we won't be as nervous with children around it as we would a big hunk of stone. The rug, I think you guys have seen. I don't know if you've seen this chair with the cushion. This is just a Pier 1 cushion that I grabbed. This chair is a secondhand find I've had for years, and it lived in the attic for a long time, and now it lives here. I'm not so sure about this side table. I think once this is finished, we'll reevaluate, because maybe we just want like a reading lamp, a floor lamp here, because we do have already a lot of storage over here, and we do have a ton of bulbs up here in the ceiling light. So it's not even like we need the light, I don't think. So maybe the chair just flies solo eventually when the coffee table's finished. But anyway, I'm gonna take you guys up the front staircase. This is where our stained glass windows are. You can see them with the sun shining through them. This is the view back down to the front door and the star pendant. So the first room will not impress you. It's this little baby front room that is either going to be a locked owner's closet or a little reading and game room. We have enough closets up here that one of them will be a locked owner's closet, and it will just depend how much stuff we need to store. If a regular closet will work for it, we'll just use a regular closet and lock it. And then this one can be a publicly used. Like, I'm picturing a chair, a chair, a side table, and then like maybe built-in shelving all the way up with games and books. I'd love to get to do that. We're just gonna have to see on space. So here's the front bedroom. I love this room. It's so simple. It's a lot of blues and whites, which feels very beachy. A lot of super budget and rentable things, like that's from Target. This is from Target. This I got on super sale. This I got on Wayfair for sale. This headboard was something insane, like less than $200. The curtains are IKEA. This is some Target art. So although I think the room feels nice and cozy and like sort of hotel-ish, it did not cost an arm and a leg. And you guys know my favorite thing in the whole world is this dresser that we got on Craigslist. So even though it looks really expensive, it wasn't. And I learned how to repair it. So even if someone shatters a corner, I can fix it because it came with 2 shattered corners. And I was actually noticing today how much I love this warm brick with this blue and white like cooler palette. I think lately I've been obsessed with like mixing really warm, like our floors are really warm, with cool instead of everything being cool. I think it adds a ton of interest. So moving around the room, I just want to give you guys the view this way. You can see that behind this open door is a closet. That people are always like, where are people gonna put their suitcases? That's a big closet. Right now it has tools and stuff in it, but we could either use this as a locked owner's closet if we want, or it can be where people put their suitcases, a little luggage rack, and then hanging space. So this is like TBD, but you know, ideally, one of them being used as an owner's closet will not be a big deal because, for example, in this room, there's a big dresser. You could put your suitcase under this if I take this basket out. And then we have a hook here, and we could add some other hanging, like another hook for people with hanging clothes. Again, it's just a vacation rental, so I don't think anyone's coming with like a week's worth of work clothes anyway. So I think suitcase and drawers might be enough, or place for your suitcase and drawers might be enough, as long as we have a few places to hang things as well. So that's the front room. This is a hallway that goes all the way to the back of the house. This window is the back of the house. So this isn't a super big house. We just packed a lot of bedrooms because that's sort of the beach house way. You want a lot of sleepable space. This is a nice little middle bedroom. It is using all the space to the fullest. It's a queen size bed, hung a little pretty mobile. Got it from Target a while back. These are prints that I got at like a craft fair. They're like petals that have been pressed. Headboard we made a long time ago. Lamps are from Target. Just like these side tables we've had, I think, since our very first house. They're super old. Simple. This stuff like this art is from Target. And there's another closet. So since this room is smaller, we don't think we'd use this as the owner's closet because the person in here will need this closet for, you know, luggage rack, place to put the suitcase, and hanging storage in here. Then if you spin around, again, that's the back of the house, you'll see this. This is the bunk room that we worked on so hard, and then remember they said you have to take the bunks out. Just kidding, you can keep the bunks. And we're so glad. This is the new window. For anyone who listens to the podcast, you can hear about why we almost had to take the bunks out. It actually was a code issue. We changed the window, then we could keep the bunks. It was a very simple change. It just freaked us out for about 5 hours until we figured it out. We just love how these turned out. We really worked hard to match the wood with the wood floor so that, you know, they're similar tones in both, and the kids freaking love this bunk bed. So ever since we added it, it's been even more exciting for them to come to the beach house. Even though it was already novel for them, the bunks sealed the deal. So next to the bunk room, we have this little bathroom. It's one of my favorite bathrooms because it feels like it has special finishes. This is a marble topped vanity with a curved front. It's a little blown out right now. Sorry, the phone keeps adjusting. That's probably true to color. It works a lot with the floor color as well. It has a big round mirror, and then we have some art over the toilet. Blue and white is like my beachy thing. Ignore my daughter's bathing suit drying. We have this blue and white tile that we installed. It was really inexpensive, but I think it looks so expensive. And then we have the subway tile and the hex floor. Hard to see in this light, but we love how everything mixes. See that mix of the three? Just looks pretty, especially with the wood tones in here, like the wood door. And look at that key latch. These are all original doors, and you guys are like, wait, how do you close that tiny door? You just grab it with your hands. They're all very quirky. So that's the bathroom. See, fully closes. It has a lock inside. All the bathrooms have locks for privacy. The rest of the rooms, you know, like the closets do not lock. So now we're in the back bedroom. I'll spin around so you can see that's the hallway that leads all the way to the front. You can see the bunk beds peeking out. This is the bedroom John and I always sleep in when we work and come to visit. It's cozy. It's not as big as the front bedroom, but it's the ensuite because it has, it's like the master suite because it has an ensuite bath, meaning there's a bathroom connected to it. And so you guys have seen this room, but the floor is my total favorite. We did it by hand. We are obsessed with it. We refinished the tub by hand. It was old and rusty. I'll link to that so you guys can see how we did the tile and how we did the tub. And then I'm gonna get behind the tub gracefully and let's see. So here's our solution so far. We have a very tiny sink. Yes, ideally we'd have a much bigger sink, but you know what? This big tub and separate shower is just such a luxury to us that we don't really mind the tiny sink. I know some renters wouldn't love it. It's gonna be in the pictures so they'll see it. I really think it's worth it for the other amenities, like the really big shower and this huge soaker tub. We did this glass pane to save space and make it feel airy. And we built this little shelf just for a little bit of storage. Like that's where you can stick all your toiletries. And we use toilet paper in here. We do debate if we should switch the sink out for just something with a vanity bottom, but we're not sure if it's worth the trouble because nothing big can get there. It's a code issue. The toilet needs a certain amount of space on either side to pass code. So it is what it is, and we freaking love it. We've been living with it for a few months. And every time we visit, I'm like, I want my bathroom at home to be like this bathroom. So, you know, sometimes things are quirky in a 100-year-old house and you don't have the big double vanity in your bedroom. Oh, and I was gonna spin back around and show you this. So this is that back wall, and that's the window to the outside. We actually added this entire wall. The stairs used to come up right into the back bedroom. There wasn't a divider. And the problem we had with that was that like anyone sleeping up here would just get walked in on from someone from the kitchen. Like a kid could run up or a friend could go up the wrong stairs and be confused and end up like in your bedroom. So what we did is we added these pocket doors and we painted them a really nice deep color. And the reason we love this color is we actually used the same tone on the tub in there. It's hard to tell because the lighting's different. But it's just such a fun accent, and everybody who comes over, including neighbors, are like, oh my gosh, those original pocket doors are so cool. And it's such a compliment because they are not original. We added them, but we added them with historic everything in mind and really wanted to make it feel original and provide privacy to the bedroom. So we are gonna add a latch that will enable you to lock the pocket doors. And then another thing we did this trip is we finally frosted this bathroom door because everyone who sees it says like, a glass door to the bathroom? What? It's really hard to see in this light, but it's frosted. So when it's closed, you have full bathroom privacy, which is really nice. So I think I'm just gonna walk back down the back staircase for a final shot. I love, love, love our original floors. They're so warm. John and I were saying we never would have picked a color this warm, ever. Like if you showed us a swatch, we'd be like, ew, that's like orangey yellow. But there's just something so beautiful about it in this old home. There's something so pretty about the way it pairs with things like this old chippy door and this light gray trim. I just think it couldn't be any better. It's just the pretty heart kind that came with this house 100 years ago. So we're back to the front door. That ends the tour, you guys. Hope you loved it. Bye.